So we just had a productive meeting with Carsten, Aftab, Carsten and me, talking about why the finding out the reasons why things are still red here, and let's say we know where to continue. So we found out why things are red. That is perfectly fine. I wanted to quickly discuss something else if I find it again. This was a bigger pull request on the uptimer. No, I don't find it again. Let me check. So this was quite old, from July. So here's someone, who is this? Jonathan Aristizabal, updated everything to Go mod with Go 1.18. So it's a huge change. I did a quick verification. So Go build, graph, and mod verify, everything works. But I have not yet tested this in our productive pipelines.
Right.
Is there any objection to merging this, or?
I don't think so. I can't think of any reason why this would cause a problem.
Fine with it.
So from here it goes to CF deployment concourse tasks, as I understand, and that would need a new release or something. Oh no, one of the CF deployment concourse tasks would then pull the latest version of Uptimer, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't know whether we cut releases of this or whether it just rebuilds from head of main. I'd have to look at the Docker file to see what it's doing. It might just be using Go install to install head of main at that point.
I think so, yes, okay.
Which is fine. So
okay,
if there's no trigger, we'd have to rerun that manually to get that into the concourse tasks.
Okay, good. So then when we have our most urgent problems resolved, then I would merge this pull request and then see if everything still works as intended.
Right.
Good. Now we have successfully migrated most of our pipelines to the new concourse. Sorry. Last week or this week, I scaled out the concourse a little bit. We just had 2 workers, right. And now it's 6, and the load is now more or less equally distributed. But we will have to scale up because 1 worker is a bit too slow for some tests. I will also do this.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Yeah, some of the unit tests take too long, according to Carsten.
They went from 7 minutes to 35 minutes.
Yeah, this is not what we want to have. Okay, so we can scale up this. Yeah. And we'll also have to update the whole concourse project because it's migrated away from Quark secrets to Carvel secrets gen. Okay, good. This will be our job. And it's not so urgent, but only then we will get the new concourse version. Right. Yeah. Good.
So what's left in terms of the CI migration? Are there more pipelines that we need to focus on, or?
We just went through everything. CATS is failing because we need a new CF deployment release, and in CF deployment, basically the Bosch, the disaster recovery, backup restore tests are failing. We will analyze this, and our goal is to cut a new CF deployment release still on Bionic on this pipeline, so to get the screen until the end. And I would say then the migration is done.
There are no other pipelines that we haven't started migrating yet.
There are.
Okay.
We haven't moved the CF deployment concourse tasks pipeline.
Right. Yeah.
I'm looking
Okay.
at it. There also is an uptimer pipeline. Don't know what that does, but
For
maybe we should shift that over
uptime,
to.
where are those? I was always looking at this precise list here.
I don't know what the permissions are, but maybe you aren't able to see it. Have you tried? Yeah, I don't know. There are a lot more pipelines than that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there are. There should be more pipelines than that. That doesn't look
You're
like
definitely
that
logged
list.
in, right? Like this
Wait,
login hasn't expired.
It has not expired. No.
Weird.
Interesting.
And this is the main group. Is there anything? No, there's nothing else.
There's definitely, it's all in the main group. But there is a lot more pipelines than that. Don't know why, what the authentication
Are they
situation is.
not public? But then you shouldn't see them.
Possibly not. I'm not sure.
Okay, good. See if deployment concourse tasks and uptimer if there is one.
Yeah, uptimer looks pretty simple. It's just a couple of jobs to run the unit tests and merge from develop to main. So I think that's easy.
Yeah, okay, that should be easy. And see if deployment concourse tasks. This is likely a bit more.
Do we have the build Docker images pipeline migrated yet? That might be
No.
one we
No.
need to. Okay. Again, very easy. It's just rebuilding the. I think these are the runtime CI images.
Oh, the Relent pipeline permissions must have been changed. The Relent concourse permissions must have been changed ahead of the like team, the GitHub team destruction event.
That happened yesterday.
Yes, I woke up this morning to a lot of emails.
Yeah.
We it might have been me, I don't remember anymore, but the teams, it's the only teams allowed on it are pivotal teams now. So I don't know if there's we probably never added the working group team to it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't need to because we're moving everything off of it. But yeah, that explains it.
So
yeah, there were also some complaints by other members on the TOC channel.
Well,
what happened? I cannot work anymore.
I think
Panic.
it was. I saw a lot of things on Slack when I woke up. I was like, we've been telling people this long enough that this is happening.
Yeah.
And yet still, that people weren't ready.
That's the way it is.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we've got a few more small things to move.
Okay, good. So I have CF deployment concourse tasks, uptimer, and build Docker images. Good. Yeah, well, so whenever those are visible again for us, accessible again, then we can move them.
Yeah,
good.
I can take the action item to add the working group team to the old concourse.
Good. Okay. Yeah, so then the next bigger topic is the switch to Jammy stem cell. So the overall idea is somewhat similar to the switch from Trusty or Xennial to Bionic. So we more or less do a major upgrade in CF deployment. And for Bionic, we can just create a small validation pipeline like here Carsten has done here for Jammy, so that we have a basic validation for Bionic, and the rest is all more or less hard upgraded to Jammy. And
Do you
there's an yes.
do you think we need to continue validating Bionic at that point? We certainly didn't when we switched over from Xenial. We'd stopped testing Xenial completely and just switched over to Bionic.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we don't really need it.
Yeah, at the moment, all our internal landscapes are still on Bionic, but we tested that they work on Gemmy, and we would maybe even faster switch over to Gemmy than the CF deployment pipelines. It depends a bit when the next version comes out.
Right.
So we don't need really the Bionic validation. I mean, we could do just a hard switch, and if somebody complains, we can talk. I know a little bit from the background that there might be questions like hardened stem cell and FIPS compliancy, etc., which is only, I don't know, based on Bionic. So sooner or later, I am sure that, for instance, Stefan Clevens will ask just for a statement from the working group: do you support Bionic, yes or no? And I mean, it's a very valid answer to say no. We stopped. We only support the Gemmy stem cell, and if something should be changed, then
Right.
it needs to be decided, and of course resource allocation, blah blah blah, all the stuff is then necessary. But the mechanics here supports one stem cell, and this one is going to change.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Because when we switched over to Bionic from Xenial, we didn't get any questions, any comments from anybody. That everyone was perfectly fine. Now I don't know whether that's because Bionic had been 1.x for longer at that point, and so more of those things had been done for Bionic, and we're earlier in the process with Jammy, and so maybe that's likely to cause more consensus.
Yeah, I remember that we were actually using Bionic already at SAP for 1 or 2 years, and while the CF deployment validation worked still on Xenial, and we had no issues. So it's the abstraction is pretty far away, and but you never know. This time we are, I think, pretty close.
I mean, maybe an email to CF Dev.
That's something we should do. We should announce also announce that there's a new major CF deployment version 22 that comes with Gemmy, and we stop the support of Bionic. If we have such an official announcement from the working group, I think that's good. And then we see on the reactions if, and then can ask also, okay, you need Bionic, please join the working group.
I mean, we can send that out now and say this is work that we're planning on starting soon. If you have any concerns, please let us know, and just kind of try to gather information ahead of time.
Also possible, yeah. Could we have a rough estimation when we think we would have our pipelines on Gemmy? Is it 4 weeks or? Don't know. It's a bit.
It would be nice to get it done before CF Day at KubeCon. That might be a useful.
Yeah. It's just 3 red boxes here, right?
Well,
yeah, sure.
There's the gray one. You never know.
There's probably a little bit of tooling to check to make sure that it is using Jammy appropriately. I'm trying to recall what we did for Bionic ahead of time, but there are some places where tooling looks at the stem cell, and it would just make sure that it handles Jammy. And then, yes, it's just a case of updating that pipeline to look at the Jammy stem cells on Bosch IO instead of Bionic.
If that works out, it would be perfect, right? It would be a cool messaging.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the change in the coding is this is rather the easy task. I mean, I've proposed. No, go away. From your pipeline templating, this is quite nice. You change 2 lines and rerun the templating, and there you are. Okay, now of course we we'll then have to make this deploy this on Concourse and see if it's green.
Right.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that would be roughly the Jammy roadmap. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we have already sorted out some the details with Carson. So yeah, from my side, I think we have enough input to work until the next working group meeting.
Mm-hmm.
If you fix the permissions on your concourse the next days, then we can also migrate the remaining pipelines. Yeah. Any other urgent topics?
What were we talking about the other day, Carson, that we wanted to?
And check the notes from last time. Copy team troubleshoot. This is fixed in the latest copy Bosch release. This is already in on CF deployment develop. Very nice.
I made a GitHub issue for that and for both those two things.
For which ones?
Both of the Carson asked about.
Okay. Windows, okay, and Runtime CF, Philip didn't know. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, if there's nothing urgent. I mean, we have now really enough input.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're good. I can't find what I was thinking about, so if it's important, it'll come back.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Then thanks for attending. And see you again in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. See you.
See you.